I'm News4 Jackson Chief Meteorologist David Heckard. Hurricane Preparedness Week continues today, and today's topic's about what to do during the storm itself. For a lot of us, this is when we actually let our guard down in terms of following the forecast, keeping up with the latest watches and warnings, but this is actually a critical time to keep a close eye on a forecast because things can change very quickly, and you really do need to think about multiple ways of getting alerts in the event that your neighborhood looks something like this. This is a picture from Hurricane Ian in southwest Florida back in September of 2022. You can see very high winds and some very, very heavy rain. And why the forecast is so critical during the storm itself is just minor shifts can make an enormous change. Here's a satellite image of the same storm, Hurricane Ian, and if you remember, the thinking was they would end up making landfall in the Tampa Bay area. However, the system ended up jogging a little bit more towards the east and ended up making landfall in Fort Myers, or just outside Fort Myers, which devastated Fort Myers Beach in the Sanibel Island area. And for northeast Florida, the thinking was it would end up kind of scraping parts of the coastline and end up swinging much further out into the Atlantic waters, and that resulted in some of the worst weather staying well away from us. So it is very important to continue to get the latest information on the forecast track, forecast intensity of these systems, because just a little jog can make a big difference in your neighborhood. Of course, News4 Jax will be with you every step of the way. We'll have continuing coverage of tropical storms and hurricanes on Channel 4, News4 Jax Plus, and News4Jax.com. Be sure to download the News4 Jax app and have those push alerts active for watches and warnings, also the latest information that's coming in on the storm itself. That's going to be important because, again, as you know, these watches and warnings can change very, very quickly in your particular area. And lastly, also make sure you have the wireless emergency alerts turned on. These come from the government agencies. These are notifications that come out for more life-threatening events like tornado warnings, extreme wind warnings, and evacuation orders. Now, it is possible some of you may have turned those off accidentally. Go into the settings feature of your phone and mobile device. Be certain those are active because they have a special tone that is designed to wake you up in the event a tornado or an extreme wind warning were to be issued for your particular area. So it is important to keep up with the forecast information. Also have multiple ways to get watches, warnings, and latest alerts during the actual tropical storm and hurricane itself. I'm Assistant Chief Meteorologist David Heckard for Channel 4, the local station.